Oh, Nelly, do we have a barn burner today? Welcome back to the Todd Durkin Impact Show. This is Todd Durkin, your guest on today's show. Wait, I'm the guest? Wait, I am the guest. I have a special host on today's show because I am going to be the guest. Yes, we are flipping the script, and we have my man Tom Dexter back. You know, from episode 347, if you listen in, Tom Dexter, that guy I've known for 35 years of my life. Yeah, Tom Dexter is going to be the host of today's show. He's going to be asking me a plethora, i.e., many questions on all aspects of life. And we're talking everything from growing up to adversity, some of the major adversities I've tested and tasted, success. Why? He talks about my superpower, like some of the things that he thinks maybe that are standing out. What's next, including 6 principles. I want to talk about 6 principles that I've been living by recently that are helping to really keep the framework of when I talk about more passion and more purpose. That's what today is all about. And I want to just say this, thank you. Before we get started, I want to say thank you to you for listening into today's show. By listening into today's show, whether you're walking, working out, you're driving, you're on a plane right now, you're listening in, wherever it may be, all around the world. Thank you for your comments. I read every DM. If you email me, I read every email. When I say that is oxygen to my soul, when you look at the love languages, the 5 love languages, mine is words of affirmation. So when someone writes a review, when someone shares something on their Facebook or Instagram, and I see that because you tag me, it really lights up my soul. So thank you for all of you who are doing that. If you've been listening in for a while, thank you. If this is your first show, thank you. Buckle up your seatbelt, get ready to rock and roll, because Tom Dexter and I are flipping the script today. Let's go out to Dex right now in Wilton, Connecticut, and let's hear Flipping the Script with Tom Dexter and your guest, yours truly. And we are back. Yes, we have Tom Dexter back in the house. You heard him in 347. If you have not yet heard that episode, go back and listen. But guess what? Today we're reversing the tide, and I'm a bit uncomfortable. I'm in the other seat tonight as we talk about, as you listen, and good. I'm cutting against the grain, and I'm flipping the script because Dex said, well, TD, if you interviewed me, I got to interview you. So Dex, welcome back to the show.
Great to be back, TD. And I don't get mad, I just get even. So we're flipping the script on you tonight.
I love it. Well, hey, let's dive in. I know we have a lot to get through, and we're going to unpack some things that perhaps people haven't heard before. And you can ask me whatever you want. As you know, I'm an open book. So wherever you want to start and wherever you want to finish, I'm all game. But I want to deliver great value for our loyal listeners today.
Sure. Well, as we've discussed, we discussed in the last podcast, we've known each other for 35 years. I've known you since you were 17 years old. I've seen you leave home for the first time. I saw you come to college, and I've had the joy and the benefit and the pride of watching you grow into the man, the husband, the father, the godly person that you are. What I want to know is, and what a lot of people want to ask me all the time is he always that energetic? Is he always that positive? He can't be like that all the time. And again, since I've known you since 1989, I can count on one hand how many times you've been flat, or you have not brought the juice, the Todd Durkin juice. So what I want to know from you is, and I tell people all the time, it's as real, it's as authentic as it gets. We want to know where it comes from. I want to know, I want you to share with people, your listeners, about your family, being the youngest of 8. What was that like?
Yeah. Well, it comes from my mom. She's still living. She's 90. She's in Florida. And my mom, Saint Mary, is a saint. And I give her so much darn credit, Tom. Um, I think what you asked, is it real? I want to make sure that anyone listening and knows this is it doesn't mean I don't have bad days. It doesn't mean I'm always the most positive person in the world, although I strive to be. Shoot, I mean, last 3.5 years, I'm sharing what I'm on a project right now where some of the most challenging, difficult years of my life from 2020 to 2023. I could talk about that later, but it doesn't mean it affects, my ongoing attitude or optimism on that. But when I talk about my mom, Tom, when I was 5 years old, my mom and dad got divorced. And as the youngest of 8 kids, five sisters and two brothers, um, I didn't know any different. When you're 5 or 10 years old, you don't know that you're poor. You don't know that your parents don't have a lot of money. You don't know that when a cop car pulls up to the house because of something going on that, you know, that's your reality. And mm, what I realized at a young age when mom and dad got divorced and dad moved away to Colorado, I became the lunch ticket kid. And the lunch ticket kid is, if you've ever been in this situation as a kid, is you got these orange lunch tickets and you go through the lunch line and you're embarrassed because you know you're the kid with the subsidized lunch. And that was me through high school, because we didn't have a lot of money. My dad had his first heart attack at age 48. So when he moved away to Colorado, he wasn't feeding my mom any money. My mom was a private duty nurse working part time because she was raising 8 kids. So she would work and work to put food on the table, and that was about it. But I didn't know that we were poor. I didn't really. That was just my life, and I was very, very, very fortunate to be ingrained at a young age work ethic and love, because my mom taught me what it was like to love and to be loved and to have love around the house, and to have five sisters and two brothers who love me. And their experience of a mom and dad were probably a little different than mine, because while they grew up around a table with 10, mom and dad, and 8 kids, I grew up with not that. Most of them were out of the house by the time I was growing up, and dad was living in a different state. But I did know this. I always felt that there was something inside of me that was special, Tom. I say that humbly. I just felt because I would ride my little blue Huffy bike to church on a Sunday. You could do that back then and ride through the woods. And I felt 1 hour of peace in a day, a week. I'd go to church on Sunday, St. Dominic's in Brick, New Jersey. I'd drive there and, ride my bike. And I felt peace at St. Dom's. And I did that every darn Sunday growing up from 5 to 10 years old. I'd go there, but a lot of lessons in that.
Hmm.
Man, when you ask about the energy, it comes from my mom, man.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, God bless your mom at 90 years old.
Yeah.
For those of you who follow you, saw her dancing at, at your nephew's wedding last week in Florida.
Oh my goodness. I didn't want her to dance. She's 90 and she's getting out of her wheelchair and she's bopping around and dancing. And I'm trying to sit her down and she's trying to escape me to go dance with everyone. And she's like, her lungs are on fire. I can tell she was exhausted. I'm like, great, mom's gonna die on the dance floor. This isn't good. And she had the time of her life. And here's the thing, when you're 90, oh heck, sometimes you're 50, doesn't matter how old you are. There's certain momentous occasions that you live for. And I know that my mom had that check mark because my nephew Grant, who is married, my mom essentially raised or helped raise my nephew Grant with my sister Karen, and that was a special one for her to
Mm.
see Grant get married. Now I'm like, okay, family, we gotta have something else on the schedule to keep mom alive for another couple of years, or just keep her moving down the path and down the pike a little bit. So it was special.
Well, Muffy has set quite an example.
Yeah,
And I
she's
love when you share the family photos and the videos. And as we were talking earlier, I connected with Sister Patty, your
yeah.
sister
Mm,
Patty, today, and great to hear from her. And I just have such
yeah.
great respect and love for your family, Todd. And it
You
kind
know,
of
it's all
brings us to
about
the
family. Tom, you know that, and the Dexter family's no different. But here's what I'll say is with seven brothers and sisters, everyone's got their own life, right? And everyone's all over the country. And, a brother in Texas and a sister in LA and my, a sibling two in Florida, and the rest back in Jersey. Is everyone's different and everyone's got different gifts and different things and that. But I tell you this, being down there was extremely grateful to have our family together,
Mm,
because it's not often that a family of eight can get together. And, to
mm,
get five or six together, it's still challenging, but to get all eight together outside of either a wedding or a funeral is hard. And unfortunately, we couldn't even have two of our siblings at this wedding. So I really value time with my family these
mm,
days because it's really hard to do. And now with even Luke and Brady away in college, man,
mm,
time,
mm,
it's all we have.
mm,
It's all we have. It's what my dad taught me. It's the
mm,
note he wrote me that I got after he died at age 58 and I'm 20 years old. It's all about time. I don't care what you do for a living. It's all about time.
mm.
Make the most of your time with whatever you're going to do, make a difference in this world. I still have the letter. I got that 3 weeks after he died when I was in college. Dex, you were there. And I just value time with my family, my immediate family, my extended family, people in live event. Like it's like I value it more. I get more emotional these days because I don't take
Mm,
anything for granted. We got darn, as I record this, we have our big graduation this weekend with 44 impact life coaches coming in here. And then we've got in a couple weeks, I got my mastermind live retreat down in Florida with over 50 coaches and trainers. And I'm like, I don't take these for granted at
mm,
all. I look forward to them. So time, it's all about time, man.
I appreciate that.
Mm,
I couldn't agree with you more. And I guess as time passes,
mm.
um, time becomes more of a scarcity.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
to cherish that time, I appreciate those comments, TD.
mm,
Um, as I've watched you develop, and you and I have had a constant dialogue from when you were in college to after college, and just the series of adversity or challenges you've faced, none greater than the passing of your father, who was a huge figure. Um, how you were able to then go on and play football overseas, chasing your dream to be a professional athlete,
mm,
having a catastrophic back injury, coming back to the States, not knowing what you were going to do. But again, you just continued to push forward.
mm,
Again, we talked about last night and the last podcast about adversity and how it builds resilience and it leads to
mhm.
success. How do you tie those together? The adversity that you experienced growing up as a kid, to the tragic passing of your dad at a young age, and then the challenges I just referenced. How have you used that to propel you forward? Because most of what you've gone through, people would crawl under a bench and not want to come out. You
Mm.
seem to come out better and stronger and more determined to go to your next level. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Share that with us, please.
That goes back to my childhood, I think. Like you don't stop, you don't give up. Um, One thing that irks me is when people think that, oh, he's got this or he's got that, or man, everything he touches turns to gold. And that couldn't be furthest thing from the truth because hindsight's always 2020 when you look back and you realize how you got to where you are today and you realize so much of it is the adversity, like even going back to childhood of going through that and learning the traits of how to keep going and the coaches that I've had in my life from high school, heck, before high school. And I'll go back to soccer and Coach Earhart and then Coach
Mm,
Wolf, obviously, growing up. And you know, all of the folks I've had in my life. But adversity, when I say rhetorically, adversity becomes your advantage. Adversity becomes your advantage.
mm,
Um,
mm,
no one wants to go through adversity. Everyone hates adversity, but man, does adversity make us stronger. It's what I'm writing about right now in the next writing project I'm involved with, because I do believe that God, my faith, has gotten me through a lot. And
Mm,
while I haven't always been more as outspoken with my faith, I realized that the older I got, this is who I am, and
mm,
I have nothing to hide other than, man, I've been broken, or feel like I've been broken several times. But every time I've been broken, in some way, I've come back, and it's actually opened up the pathway in the door to the next level. And I was talking to Pastor Jeremiah about this um, a few weeks ago, when he said something that just I can't stop thinking about. It is, everyone's broken, but
mm,
that's how the light gets in.
mm,
Broken, but that's how
mm,
the light gets in. I'm thinking, no wonder why I got so much light, because I've been broken so many times. I just you learn these things that most people have, but you got to tap into them. About, you keep going, and I don't want to go through all the adversities I've had, but adversity and success. What I find is most people don't feel successful.
mm,
Well, like Dex, I don't feel like I'm as successful as probably what some other people might think on the outside. Like, oh, he's got this. No. I feel like I'm just getting started in a lot of
mm,
ways, or I'm on the next peak of that. I got to climb up this darn big mountain that I'm hitting. And I find the more people I talk to, the more people that are like, I don't feel successful. I don't feel successful. Whether you feel successful or not, that's not the important part. Is, are you at peace, and do you
mm,
feel fulfilled with who you are today, and where you're going, and what you're doing, and who you're around, and the love that you have in your life? Because to me, that's what it's about. Is, are you content with where you're at, knowing that you're on a divine purpose,
mm,
meaningful mission to do what you need to do? And every time that I've been broken, like the last 3.5 years leading into what everything from 2020 into May of 2023, was brokenness in many ways, which has now led to this next level that I feel so enlightened and empowered
mm.
because of faith on that. So when you talk about the relationship between adversity and success is, man, Tom, I don't choose adversity. No one usually chooses adversity, but man, does it make us sharper. Man, does it
Mm,
make us better. And man, ultimately, when we can taste success, we deal with success even at a better level,
mm,
because we know that there's, well, I hate to quote Pastor Jay again, but I'm gonna quote him again, because the man is so prolific as a coach and
mm,
mentor and father-like figure in my life. Is, the crest of the wave determines the depth of the valley. The depth of the valley determines the crest of the wave, is because we've all been in the valley, and
mm.
we've all been at the crest, whatever your
Amen.
crest is, and you're not at your best crest yet, and you may not be at your deepest valley. There may be another thing that happens, but every time that valley hits, you can bet your bottom dollar that you're going to rebound and higher. You just got to keep going, be around the right people. And that to
Mhm.
me is being around the right people, guys like you, Tom Dexter, that have always for 35 years brought out the best in me. It's, how can I spend even more time with the Tom Dexters of the world, the Gus Cheliotises of the world, the Pastor Jeremiahs of the world, all of the people who have, and I can name 10 right off the top of my head, all of these people who have impacted me in the past, and have impacted me, like impact me right now, and will impact me in the future. Who are these people? To me, that's what it's all about.
Speaking of the best of you,
Mm,
I want to talk about one of the things that is your superpower, one of the many, and that is your ability to connect with people and inspire people. I
mm,
saw this when you were 17 years old, and I've seen it throughout.
mm, mm,
Where does that come from? Is it a divine uniqueness?
mm.
I
I
think
think,
it's your superpower, Todd.
thank you. I think it is. I think where it comes from is truly caring about everyone. Like, Dex, I used to love in high school going to go talk to the kids who weren't cool. I love going with Angie Finn and working with the kids who were in drug rehab in high school. And because I was the high school football star, I love talking to those kids, or the kids who just they weren't the cool kids. I like hanging with those kids as much as not. Um, I think that just comes from my upbringing, from my mom and my dad, and the environment from Coach Wolf and Coach Fix and Coach Foley and my coaches in high school. Like, I think it comes from above. And what I mean by that is, I think there's traits in people that can be grown. And I think there's always some empathy and compassion and love. Listen, I realize I didn't come from much. I appreciate little things now that maybe some people may not, because I know what it's like that when you don't have a lot, or when you're eating, and I mean this, when you're eating rice and beans one day and beans and rice the next. Like, I know what that's like. I do. Um, I also know what it's like to put a smile on someone's face. I know what it's like to go to Haiti, the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and see people that are far richer in their spirit and soul than most people in over here, because while they don't have anything monetarily, they have more spirit in their soul, that they realize the time on earth is finite and there's a far greater purpose of why we're here. And for me, when you talk about the superpower, that's been cultivated over years because of the mentors in my life. I wasn't like that in high school. I just knew that I liked going and speaking and being around people who maybe didn't have the same opportunity as me. I was given a gift that I could play sports. And yeah, I worked my tail off. And yes, I had multiple scholarship offers and was able to play. And like, I realized that as I have grown older, is it didn't matter if it was football or any other sport, or now in training and coaching and what I do. Really, what was important is it's the people who are suffering mentally, who've who have been depressed or are depressed. And I get a DM in my darn phone, Dex, many times a week, of people who are thinking about doing some dumb things. And I'm either praying with them or I'm giving them hope, trying to give hope. Dex, there's two kids, two on my watch during the pandemic that took their own life. And I say on my watch because why didn't I see? Why didn't I see what was going on? Despite a crazy time, why as a coach did I not see that? Why didn't I speak into that? Now, you can talk about the thousands of kids that maybe heard a message, or the adults who I've been coaching and they heard it and they're like, thanks, coach, thanks, TD, whatever. But I'm looking at the two kids. And why didn't I get to them? I've recommitted to say, nope, I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back. I'm not holding back my faith. I'm not holding back my mindset, my soul set, everything. Maybe there are people who don't like what I say. That's fine. I'm okay with even people not liking me. At this point, is it worth another kid's life or an adult's life because they went through a divorce, or they went through a bankruptcy, or they did something stupid in their life? Haven't we all? Like, I'm not wasting another darn day, let alone year, not doing the things that are going to make a difference and impact, pardon the pun, of that. Two kids. There's parents who are grieving because of a suicide. Why didn't I see that as a coach, as a trainer, as that? Those are kids I coached. I don't know, Dex. I guess you get smarter as you get older, and you care more, hopefully. I just know this. It's like, I just feel like maybe this is a bad thing, but I think it's a good thing. Is like, I get the feeling sometimes like I haven't done enough. Maybe that's maybe it's not being the youngest of 8 kids. I don't know.
I would beg to differ on that last statement of yours.
But yeah, but
I know.
I hear you. But I'm talking about this. There are so many people have gifts inside of them that they don't even know. They don't even know what's inside of them. And they're afraid to make the change. They're afraid to go out and make I mean, heck, for kids, there's adults right now that are stuck in jobs that they hate, but they're afraid to make the changes that are necessary because, well, there's a certain amount of financial security, or there's things that brings them some joy, but they have this ceiling in them, and that they're like, hey, if I write this book or I do this or I do that, like, to me, life's too short. So, okay, then pick up a side hustle or do this extra 8 hours of work on during the week. And what could that mean to someone's life? Ultimately, what does it mean to how it fulfills you, so that when your time is up in hopefully 50 years or whenever, 70 years, you count it, it's like, man, let's not waste another day. Do what you need to do now. And that's what I've loved about the podcast, honestly. And I'm not comfortable being on the other side of the fence, so thank you. But man, like, that's what the podcast has allowed me to do. That's what our coaching programs allow me to do. And I've been coaching my tail off this year alone. I'm going to be coaching even more, obviously, but I'm not wasting any more time. I'm not holding back. It's like we all have to do our best now. Let's not wait.
Well, I'd like to remind the listeners that that was a mic drop answer as to your ability to connect with people and that being your superpower. I think you just gave a pretty clear answer as to how you
What?
impact people's lives and you connect.
Well, why do you get me all emotional, Dex? Your questions get me emotional.
You got
But,
me. You got me in tears over here too.
well,
Because I'm
maybe it's because I've known you for so long, and you've been there by my side the whole time. But I mean, like yourself, I guess your purpose deepens when you get older. My whole thing is, don't wait to get older to get your purpose deepen. Like, what do you have to wait to 50, 60, 70, 80? No. It's always said that before age 50, you seek legitimacy. After age 50, you seek legacy. Don't wait to age 50 to seek legacy. Seek it now at 30. Seek it now at 25. I was talking to my son Brady the other day. He's 19 years old. And we were talking this exact topic. He's 19 and he's talking about his future. And I love it. I love talking about that. I was talking to Luke about this and McKenna. Like, these are the topics now. Get exposed now at young ages of, like, hey, dream about, like, your legacy now, so that you make decisions in your 20s, 30s, and 40s that are going to ultimately seek what we're discussing here is, man, legacy. Like, what are we going to do? And let me remind Dex, all of these folks, so many times people are like, man, she's so successful. He's so successful. I'm not like her. I'm not like him. Everyone's got something. Our good friend Dave Sider said this. Everyone's got something. Call number one in our Impact X coaching program, cohort number one, when we started this a year ago. He's like, TD, everyone's got something. And here's an uber successful gentleman, a mergers and acquisitions attorney who I'm coaching our Impact X. He's like, everyone's got something. I'm like, amen to that, Dave. You're absolutely right. Everyone's got something. Let's not look and be like that Instagram world of, man, everyone's got something, like, but I don't, like they're perfect, or they got this money, or everyone's got something. So stop comparing, your world to everyone else's, because everyone's got something.
absolutely. And I think that to know Impact X in the first cohort, and as we kick off the second cohort, I think that's one of the many takeaways, which is, as Dave Sider duly notes on a regular basis to us with his grand wisdom, love you, Dave Sider, is we all come to the group with many things that we want to improve upon, whether it's our career, our health, our personal lives, and everything in between. And I think one of the things that I taken away from this last year in the first Impact X cohort was just the wisdom that everybody in the group has shared with me, and the issues that I have presented, and then the encouragement, the camaraderie, the community that's been developed behind whatever it is I'm working on, whatever it is you're working on, and you've done a phenomenal job as a coach, as you were born to do, and lead our group in opening up, discussing issues, bringing different thoughts to the table around those issues, leaning in hard together with encouragement and prayer. And I want to thank you for inviting me into that group. And I'm just incredibly blessed and honored to be part of this second cohort. But speaking of Impact X and some of the other things that you're doing, you've got a lot on your plate right now, Todd. Maybe you can share a little bit about that. But what I'd like to do, we could be here all night on that question, right? But what I'd love to know are, what are the 5 or 6 principles that you have learned that you deploy every day and will deploy on all of the initiatives that you're working on in 2024 and beyond?
So a few things, Dex. Number one, thank you for your words, and thank you for that. It has been one heck of a ride in the last year. Started here in late February 2023. Now we're in March of 2024, so just over a year ago. And one of the things I heard in May of 2023, one of my friends and cohorts, his name is Rory Vaden, he said something that really stuck. He said, serve the person you used to be. If you're stuck, serve the person you used to be. And then you heard on the podcast, Denise Druce say a few months ago, as far as serve the people, basically she said, where you once suffered, go back and serve those people. So wherever you once suffered, go serve those people. If you're looking for your calling, you're looking for your clarity, then go serve the people you used to be, or serve where you once suffered, right? And when I look at those statements in 2023, I'm like, wow, there's some depth there, because it has really created, when I was working on my GSD planner in December of this past year and really framing up my year, I'm like, how am I going to do all the things I want to do? Because my theme is iconic. I want to have an iconic year. What's it going to take to have an iconic year? And a lot of my themes for our retreats, and you were at the Whitefish retreat, but it's about being iconic. And I alluded to, and I'll share more in future forward, but the book project. I'm deeply involved in the book project. Heck, we're launching the Impact X coaching program right now. Cohort number 2 starts March 21st, which also is my birthday, with men and women of all ages and shapes who are yearning for more success and more significance. These are men and women who know there's more in the tank, but aren't where they want to be personally and professionally as well. We've got our mastermind retreat coming up, and my mastermind for fit pros and coaches, where we want to grow that. I haven't yet officially announced, but I have a big announcement coming up this July. All I'm going to say is it's around Idea World, and it's not just for fit pros. Stay tuned. It's not just for fit pros. It's for any podcast listener. I'm going to make a plea to be in LA this summer in July, more to come. And I'm just spending a lot of time on that. And then Dex, as I record this just days before what's going to hit here this coming weekend, which is the weekend of, so you're listening to this March 1st and 2nd, you're listening to right after this, is the graduation of our Todd Durkin Impact Life Coaches. We have 41 of 44 Impact Life Coaches newly certified that have gone through a 6-month program coming to San Diego. 41 life coaches coming to San Diego this coming weekend as we record this, just days after you're listening to this. They were just here. Why do I share all those initiatives on the front side of 2024? It's a lot, as you said. But as my vision has expanded, I've realized the value of teamwork. You talked about principles. I could not do this alone.
Mm.
I could do this podcast by myself. We got a team of people who help turn this around in a matter of days so that you, the listener, can listen to this on your walk, your workout, in your drive or whatever. And hopefully they're doing a great job. And if so, please, share your love of the podcast because, man, I'm just here sharing some wisdom with you, Dex, but there's a team of people behind it that are help putting it together. I realize the value of teamwork. Impact X could not be happening with you, Tom Dexter, leading cohort number 2, without Kelly Watson, without Deidre, without Chase, without Julie. Like there's a team of people who help me execute the vision of, hey, we're going to have more people. I love to coach and I'm going to spend the year of 2024 coaching. I know that is really important. So one principle is teamwork makes the dream work. Number one. Number two is it's all about the people around you. It's about the people around you. And when I say the power of the people around you, yeah, it's like that, but I'm talking about having more thoroughbreds in your life and less donkeys. Less donkeys, more thoroughbreds is an important concept because thoroughbreds help you make you run fast and they help keep you lean and not just physically, but I'm talking mentally, they keep you sharp. And Dex, you're one of those guys for me as far as keeping me sharp as an advisor in a lot of different areas of my life. When you have thoroughbreds in your life and you have accountability, that's what we go into in the Impact X, like accountability and having those board of advisors. The other thing I'd say, principles on like, man, you have a lot of initiatives. I've got a couple more I'd share is number one, keep dreaming. Dreaming. It's interesting in going through some of the calls of people who may want to be an Impact X. They've told me, I don't even have a dream anymore. I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean you have a dream? Like I've been working for so long that I've almost forgotten my dream. I'm like, well, let's back up. We need to make sure you start dreaming again. Like we got to make sure you're dreaming because dreaming allows you to come to life because it gives you juice. And when you get juice and you get dreaming, your dreams evolve and expand. And when you're around of other, back to the previous principle, around other thoroughbreds, you get dreaming. Now you have the people around you that actually help you cultivate your dream to make it come to fruition. So you got to dream and then you got to keep dreaming because dreaming is energy. Dreaming is juice. You're like, TD, is that real? It's because I do carve out time to get away to make sure in the mountains, especially when I'm in Whitefish or in the mountains, I can really dream big on that stuff. So if you're not dreaming, you got to get dreaming. And if you are dreaming, you got to keep dreaming because my dreams have expanded because dreams lead to expanded vision. And when you have expanded vision, your team grows because when you share with your team, or I share on this podcast, here's what we're doing. And someone says, hey, TD, I can help support that. Guess what? Now we've got our team is growing and our impact is growing and reaching because when you look at our team, Tom, if you on the outside looked in our team on the inside, we got some thoroughbreds right now. We've got some people on the inside. I'm like, I told Melly the other day, I have never had a team like this around me that's lifting everything up because my vision has expanded and therefore, so that's a principle, like rising tides.
Right.
Last two are this. It's a principle. The best is yet to come. It's something I've always held on to. I've shared this over the years, but I'll share it again is it's interesting thing about success is because success sometimes is the biggest detriment to success. Sometimes success is the biggest detriment to success is because you get a little lazy, you get a little apathy, you get a little fat, you get a little you get a little lethargic because success breeds contentment sometimes. And while it's good to be content, are you truly serving your deepest purpose? Because at the end of the day, when we drop over those pearly gates and we come, flying through, it's well done, good and faithful servant. Or what have you been doing the last 10 years? Or why did you not capitalize on your gifts? You had all these gifts inside of you, and I anointed you with gifts, but why did you not step into that? I gave you strength but my back, but my knee, but my energy. No. You had that inside of you. Why did you not step into that? To me, the best is yet to come is it's a mindset. It's a mindset knowing that I don't care for me, like it doesn't matter how much quote success someone thinks I've had or haven't had. Like ultimately it comes down to a decision between me and the big man up top is, am I playing at my deepest and best level? Do you
Mm.
hear me say, how are you playing at your best level? Guys, it's not rhetorical. It's a question I ask myself is, am I playing at my deepest and best level? And that's only a decision between me and God. Like, okay, I can step up. Okay. Why do you think we're having Impact X Part 2, Cohort 2? It's because I want to coach a team of 10 to 20 people that want to play at a higher level. Like you want to. And you might not be as successful as you want. It's not just because you're making a certain salary. No, it's not like you have to make a certain amount of money. This ain't Tiger 21. Like this is a group of like people who want to do better things with their life and create more significance. By the way, nothing wrong with Tiger 21, great organization. But like
Mm.
I'm talking about, hey, whether you've had success or you've tasted it or you've been there, but you know there's another level, there's more significance, great. Because the
Mm.
last thing I'd say on principles is, I mean, for me, the thing I've learned the most through the ups and the downs is the faith component is everything for me. I don't know how, and Tom, I say this with full humility, I don't know how I would have gotten through the last 3.5 years without my faith. And I
Mm.
mean that. You'll read about it. I'm writing it right now, and I'm going to get emotional. I Most people don't know the depths of some of the things I've had to fight through in the last 3.5 years at the emotional level, of the mental turmoil of
Mm.
when you sometimes are being told you might be at the top of something, but you're not even close to where you know you can go. And then you're dealing with physical pain or different challenges in your life, physically or mentally, whatever it may be. They often go hand in hand, by the way.
Mm.
And my walk with my faith and God and Jesus has gotten so darn deep in the last 3.5 years that, Tom, I would not have survived without it. And
Mm.
now it's just like, this is who I am because I would have died. I was either going to Montana to retire or I'm going on a mission or I'm
Mm.
dying. Like
Mm.
A, B, or C. Go retire in Whitefish. By the way, not a bad option.
No, no,
But
no.
not a bad option.
Mm.
But, and I'm spending a lot of time there. But if I can go fuel up there now, go to the fuel stop and go do my thing there and see the peeps and have some retreats and revive and refresh and re-engage. That's why a lot of our retreats are being held there. You've seen me a lot there a lot. But no, 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 not for good. Like I'm not going to just hang there. And for me, it's how do you do that and then you go and you get on your
Mm.
meaningful mission to change lives. So when I talk about the lighthouse, when I talk about creating that impact, for me, I think God was using me in a way that I never, ever, ever could have imagined back in 2006 and 7 after LaDainian won that MVP and he told me what's next. I'm like, what's next? What are you talking about? What's next? Run it back. Let's go number two. Like, no, 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 that's not going to work. That's not going to motivate me. It's the same thing I went through mentally, and I'm going to share it in the book stuff, but it's not like in 2017, 18, 19 after strong and figuring out like what's next, run it back. I've already done it. I've already
Mm.
been there. I want to go deeper. I want to create more impact, not just the coaches and trainers, and I want to impact more coaches and trainers. We need more coaches and trainers, both physical, personal trainers and group exercise instructors, yes, but I'm talking life coaches, people who want to be coached. Like it's going to be going up in 2024. And so the initiatives that I'm working on now because of the team, I've got a
Mm.
team of people that have been put in place, or I'll just say that God has put back in my life and is allowing us to really take our light and shine it brighter. But that
Mm.
takes discipline and effort to make sure, okay, I'm tapped in, I'm going to follow, I'm going to be obedient because it's not always easy to be obedient to your
No.
calling, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a calling, I got no obedience. Is it scary? Yeah, it's scary. Heck yeah.
Mm.
I could have just gone to Montana and probably been pretty happy for a little while. But at the end of the day, am I serving my purpose? Can I
Mm.
impact more people? Those are the conversations that go on in my head on a regular basis. And whether it's here at Fitness Quest 10, whether it's in my life coaching program, in the mastermind program, in some of my initiatives that are going to be coming up over the next several months and year, like we got some big stuff, TD,
Mm.
big stuff, and it's scary stuff. And that's the stuff that gives me the juice to say, all right, I'm not I'm going down like swinging, and I got another 50 years. Well, I got another close to 60 years. I'm going to 110. So
Mhm.
on that, it's like walk in line with your principles and your beliefs, and put yourself around other great people. That's what Impact X is all about. That's what the mastermind's about. That's what the certification's all about. Everything I've done is lined up. And I look back now,
Mm.
isn't it funny how when you look back, whether it be 3.5 years, it's 2020, or I look back, at age 30 when I opened Fitness Quest 10, I looked at a 5-year back injury of going through all that. That was the perfect timing of like everything led me to open up
Mhm.
one gym. Wait, what? 5 years? Yeah, it took me 5 years.
Mm.
So setback leaves that set up to a comeback.
Love that. Well, TD, it's almost 9 o'clock here on the East Coast. I have no idea how I'm going to fall asleep tonight. You have just
Hey,
charged me
hey,
up.
what's funny is this is a late recording, guys, because as you're listening to this, most of you listen in the morning. Um, Dex is coaching back there, and he's coaching, not only doing the life coaching, he's coaching football and strength and conditioning, as well as all of his financial responsibilities and obligations he has in his financial business. But we don't record in the evening. And we're recording this in the evening, and now Dex is saying he can't sleep, so he's going to put the gray hoodie on, or he's already got it on.
Well,
If you're
I've
not
got the
watching
gray
this,
hoodie on
he's got it
tonight
on, baby.
to
So
represent you, TD, right there, baby.
I love it. I love it.
We flipped the script. This was flipping the script, going to gray hoodie. Hey,
Well,
I just want to I want to thank you personally. I want to thank you for all the people who are going to enjoy this podcast tonight in hearing more about Todd Durkin and where he comes from, why he is who he is, and his quest to impact 10 million people.
hmm.
And I got to tell you, this is where the two of us turn into soup sandwiches. But I want to tell you again how much I appreciate you, um, how much I love you, how proud I am of you since I am your senior, and how blessed I am to have you in my life, and how I just really look forward to us tackling more things together.
Yeah. Dex, thank you. I mean that. Thank you for all you've done for so many people for so many years. Yeah, back to your high school days to William Mary, serving on the board, in your financial advising career, in your coaching career. And, Tom, I'm really, really, really excited that you're in our foxhole now. I love people that you want to be in the foxhole with.
Love
And you're
that.
one of those guys that you can count on. And what I'm excited for about in our next endeavor here with our Impact X coaching program and evolving. I know we talked to Gus Cheliotis about this and some of the things he has planned with um, as well, and Andrew Ruiz and some of the gals that we coach as well, is the future and what the
Hmm.
future holds and what we're going to be doing with Impact X to make a big difference in people's lives. For all the men and women who are out there who are just really seeking the next level, but they're not really sure what the next level is, please don't feel like you need to know all the answers to be involved in a program such as this. We only do this once a year, and I'm really excited about it. I do believe that the last 3.5 years of what you're going to read about when the book comes out later this year is exactly what the good Lord has brought us together for, Tom, uh, and the team. And the team has never been stronger so that we can go serve the world more admirably and help people's lives create more impact. That's what it's all about. And you say
100%.
10 billion. And recently, Tom, what I've been really stewing on, and this is probably for another time, a solo maybe, is um, my vision has expanded, and I'm not going to share all of it yet, but for many, 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 many moons, I've said I'm going to impact 10 million people. And while I'm probably not there quite yet, my vision has expanded because of not only the Mastermind and the Impact X program and the Impact life coaching program, but some of the things that I've got coming up. I believe is going to help us expand even more. And the one thing I know, as your vision expands, it also requires you, me, to spend more time in solitude and listening and tapping into those whispers and spending more time with the big man up top and really having that conversation of, you really want me to do that?
Mm,
Sure, you
mm,
sure you want me to do that? Like, I don't know. I don't
mm,
know if you are you talking to me? Like, I don't know. Am I the only one that has these conversations or not? Like, man, is this the right move or not? But what does it mean to walk in faith? What does it mean? It's when you believe, even when you don't see. And there's some things I'm making decisions. I know, Tom, as you know right now, is it's going to take not only faith, it's going to take a great team of people. It's going to take a Herculean effort. And that's one that I'm stepping into, something I know that it's going to supersede 10 million people and exceed 10 million people. But it starts with one. And I just started,
mm,
as I record this just last night, we got back to doing live Bible study with Miles McPherson. And the whole everything coming up for the next several months, and this is all about the power of one.
mm,
One, the power of one, the power of one
mhm,
person saying yes to step into, whether in this realm it's into deepening your faith and going deeper in your faith in God. The power of one who says, I'm worth it. I'm going to go down this path and my purpose and live my true deep purpose. The
mm,
power of one of who, when I woke up this morning and I wrote down in my journal of who's going to be the one person, and it was today. As I record this, it was a gentleman who's in my mastermind group who texted me something that I said, "You're my guy today,
mm,
today,"
mm,
because he's dealing with something that he needed a little extra faith and prayer in today. But the power of one, your one intention, who's it going toward today? Maybe
mm,
it's your child, maybe it's your spouse. But man, when you make it about other people and serving other people one by one, that gets multiplied. And that's the thing. It's like, I'm not like, hey, I'm going to go out and serve 10 million people today. That could be a little overwhelming.
mm,
I say today I'm going to serve one person, or this podcast today hopefully serve one person. Let me know if
mhm,
it's you. I'd love to know. What did it? Was it you? Because before I got on this, Tom, like, let's serve one. Let's serve one person, and that's how I've been living. And I'm really really excited about everything we're doing. There's a lot of things, but the team is really positioned well. We've got some great things going on, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. As I mentioned last week, in 347, not just because of our friendship and you be my literally being by my side for 35 years, but I'm excited for what's about to come.
mm,
I really like, man, when I think about how everything's been positioned over 3.5 years and sometimes of going through hell and back of what that has meant. I also think sometimes being on the valley and being on your back and looking up, thinking, I don't know if it can get any worse than this. I'm really excited for getting back on the mountain and realizing that there's some really, really exciting things happening. There's a lot of lives that are going to be changed. And I love that you're in the foxhole with me, brother.
Uh, you know how much I love you, how much I respect you, and how grateful I am to you. You're the best, TD. You
Tom,
really are.
thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And while it's been a little uncomfortable being in the other seat as the recipient, as the guest this week, I want to say thank you for just kind of taking the microphone today and leading the charge. So, Tom Dexter, thank you. I can't wait to do some more coaching with you. It's all starting up here, and heck, March 21st, Impact X is going to be rocking and rolling. So, if that's you, my friends, reach out today. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time for the men and women who are looking to get to the next level in all aspects of life. Tom Dexter, thank you, brother. I appreciate the questions. You are the best, my friend.
The best is yet to come.
Woo! Man, I just absolutely loved that conversation with Tom Dexter, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for joining in today and all that you heard. And it's always great to just talk shop with Tom and to reminisce and to think and to dream and to ultimately do what you're designed to do. So thank you. Go out there and have an incredible day. If you're interested in the Impact X coaching program, I share that because on March 21st, it all kicks off. We are only doing one launch per year. And on March 21st, we're going to take cohort number 2. And if you'd like to hop on a discovery call, simply hop on with Tom or Kelly Watson on my team and see if it's the right thing for you, regardless of where you're at in your life. If you're wanting to go to a deeper level and you're thinking that you'd really like to step up into a group of people who are going to elevate your game on so many levels, both personally and professionally, then Impact X may be a great solution for you. Hop on a discovery call. If you like to just sign up, you can do that. Go to todddurkin.com, todddurkin.com. If you like to hop on a discovery call, todddurkin.com. And when you do that, you can hop on a call anytime over the next few weeks until March 21st. And then Impact X Coaching is going to be off and running, and we're going to be changing some more lives. So I want to say thank you to listening in. Please share this episode. When you share this episode, it's going to get out into your universe and all the people that you influence and are colleagues and friends with as well. If you would be as kind to take a picture right now, snap that picture, share it on your Instagram story, tag me at Todd Durkin, and of course Tom Dexter's on there as well. I'll put all of his information in the show notes, but when you hit Tom Dexter and myself, we'll share that up as well so we can spread the love on all that we do. So my friend, thank you for joining us. Remember, until next time, train hard, eat right, live inspired, and go create impact.